Hello, Maddie and Adriana and your parents. Thank you for joining me tonight for our open house. I wanted to make you guys a special recording because you guys are very different from what the regular culinary independent study students are doing, which you know. So I wanted to share with your parents what we will be working on throughout the year. But before we get to that, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. So I was born and raised in Bellevue, Illinois. It's about 70 miles west of here. I did start out in college with a fashion merchandising degree. So I actually worked in the business world for about 4 years before I decided it just wasn't for me. And I had always thought about going into teaching, and I decided to do it. So teaching was my second choice when I initially went to college, so I'm glad I was able to go back and do it again. So in 2000, I did attain my teaching certification from Northern Illinois University. Since then, I have received 2 master's degrees and an ESL endorsement. This is my 21st year teaching, and this is my 14th year at FREMD. And at FREMD, I am the FCS department chair, and I'm also the athletic coordinator. Also, my interests are cooking, reading, and traveling. If you need to contact me, this is my information. Email is always the best way to find me or hear from me here so I can get it quicker. But if you do want to call, that number does go to my email, so I will get it pretty promptly. These are the 2 books that we're using for our class this year. So I did purchase these 2 books for Adriana and Maddie. They're called Kitchen Hacks book and 100 Techniques, and they're both from the America's Test Kitchen. So I don't know if you know anything about the America's Test Kitchen, but it's started out as a TV show on PBS, and they have amazing videos and just ways of explaining how things work. And the technique book is really kind of cool because it does have some of the science behind it and just really how they went about choosing the different recipes that they did. And the Kitchen Hacks book is really basically what you can do in a bind. So, and when you run a restaurant, you always need a little shortcut now and then. So basically every day we start our day. We are on A days. We start at 8:45 and we go to 9:45. We are via Zoom. Since they are independent study, there is not really much class instruction time, but if I did, this is what it would be. They do get some activities that do require videos, and I do talk to them throughout a little bit as I'm kind of going back and forth between the 2 groups. So, but I am starting to have them cook a little bit. So thank you for having some ingredients there for them, and hopefully, soon we can have some things sent home. Oh, for homework, there is 2 to 3 assignments. Maybe usually they're going to have a lab to do and maybe finish up some of the work that they started in class. I also will probably have some research on the internet that they've been doing, so maybe some ed puzzles, just some reinforcements to some of the topics that we've been doing. And also some interactive games about maybe some techniques that they're going to be doing along the way. Zoom expectations, so just making sure that they're signed in promptly. Muting their microphone unless they have a question, or I call on them, making sure that their camera is on them so I can see that they're engaged and that they're using the chat function in a professional manner. Also, just to make sure that they're listening to any kind of lessons I'm giving them. They're usually, like I said, when they're working, they're pretty much on their own. I do go back and forth, but I just still want to make sure that they're there and engaging. So with the Zoom expectations, it's not required, but it is helpful to use 2 devices. So one to either on their phone or their computer to Zoom, and then have their iPad available to do the work. Any homework is due at the time posted in Schoology. It's usually due at midnight, the night before that we meet again. So they do have a good 48 hours to get that completed. Late work is taken up to 2 weeks past its due date, but it is half credit. And I do like them to use their work time to do work. So just to make sure that they're utilizing the time that they're with me, because then I can answer any kind of questions. Also to make sure that they communicate any issues with grades or any concerns as soon as possible. And also check course updates and emails daily and any kind of remind messages in case I need to get a message out to them. Grading info. So all assignments are going to be entered into Infinite Campus. It is weighted, so there's daily work, homework, assessments, and labs. They may have a few assessments. I may, as we kind of go along, we're going to be learning about some different techniques. I may give them a little assessment along the way to kind of see if they're keeping up with the knowledge of it. So cooking labs. So soon we will be allowed to send home food for students to make up labs. We're waiting on a waiver from our legal department to kind of tell us, what we can do and what we can't, or what we can send home to you and what we can't send home to you. Some perishables may not be allowed. We're hoping that some is, kind of like milk and butter and things like that. Now, there's two ways that you can get it. You can either pick it up at school, or we can have it dropped off at your bus stops. I'm hoping, and I'm not sure if this is going to coordinate with what we do for drop-offs for lunches, but I'm hoping that pickup will be on Tuesdays, and then maybe drop-off as well. So on some days, students will be expected to use these cooking supplies in class while we're zooming in. So hopefully there's a kitchen available. If not, I am going to start offering eventually for them to come in during our academic support time in the afternoon. Then they can do the lab with me in the room. So 6 people can sign up at a time, and just a little bit more about those. The academic support time for this course is on the second 8th day of the week, so it's going to be a Wednesday or Thursday, and it's from 1:15 to 2:45. We have a nice 90-minute block in there, so we can get everything done. The students can taste what they make. Unfortunately, we can't share food, so everything they have to do is for one. But they do get to eat it, thank goodness. So as long as they're eating it social distanced, and then we should be in good shape. Now with the academic support time, they do have to sign up through Infinite Campus because we can only allow 6 people in at a time. So it's the first 6 that sign up. Now, there's only about 14 kids in the class, so I'm thinking that most times they'll be able to get in if they want to. And I'm hoping that Maddie and Andriana do come in just because they are the 4th years, and I want to see kind of what they can do. It's not required, but I can dream. And you can also come in to get help with assignments in class. Now, sometimes I will have some open lab if they're not doing a lab that they need to make up. I will offer some open baking and pastry labs, so we have a bunch of baking supplies on hand. Bring yourself a recipe. Maybe let me know what it is so I can see if I have everything. And if I can't, I'll try out and go out and get it. But eventually, I would like this to be kind of a time where you guys can get creative and kind of and do your own thing. Okay? So this is the Schoology site that Maddie and Andriana are in. This is a site that only they can see. So this is where everything's going to be. So right now, the other is going to be like I think we did a video class. They had to watch it and fill out some questions. Then there are going to be some, anytime we use the Kitchen Hacks book, will be an assignment in here. Same thing with the 100 Techniques book. And then sometimes after we do one of the techniques, I'm going to have them do like a free cook lab. Sometimes I'm going to give them a recipe, especially when it's time for me to start sending food home, so then I can pick it and then I'll have them make it. But I'm going to try and do it out of the books, so we kind of keep it standardized. So that's about it. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.